As Adani FPO called off, sources say India's market regulator is examining a rout in the shares of Adani. RBI too puts Adani in the watch list. Auspicious Shaligram Shila in Ayodhya. Holy rocks to be used in construction. Devotees worship holy rocks in the city. ED's explosive claims say Delhi liquor scam cash was used to fund AAP's poll campaign in Goa, and that top leadership vouched for key accused Vijay Nair. Kejriwal dismisses charge sheet, calls all allegations fictional. And finally, Kerala journalist Siddiqui Kappan walks out of jail. Kappan was arrested 2 years ago on charges of creating communal unrest after the rape and murder of a Dalit woman in Hathras. Why Sharmila dares Telangana Chief Minister again, gifts shoes to KCR, dares him to walk alongside her for a day. And trouble continues to mount for Pakistan. IMF rejects Pakistan's revised debt management plan, calls it all too unrealistic. If Adani stand outside of Parliament, in Parliament, the chants of Adani echoed. Both houses of the Parliament were adjourned till tomorrow after the opposition created a ruckus. Under the leadership of the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, key opposition parties launched a scathing attack on the centre and the BJP. Questioning the silence of the Prime Minister over the issue, the opposition parties demanded a joint parliamentary committee or a Chief Justice of India designated committee probe into the Adani Group. Here's more.
प्रश्नों से समस्या हल समाधान होती है. प्लीज जाइए अपने मिशन पर.
This is all that happened in Parliament today.
आज 2 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है.
As the Adani controversy snowballed, the opposition had a one-point agenda for the budget session to demand answers from the government on the Hindenburg Adani papers. With the government making it clear that question hour will not be dropped, both houses were in session for a total of 6 minutes through the day.
The House stands adjourned to meet at 1100 hours on Friday, 3rd February 2023.
In a rare show of unity, opposition parties came together to raise their voice against the government and insist on an in-depth probe. The Congress led the fight both in and outside the House on the Adani showdown.
हमने एक नोटिस दी थी 267 के तहत और ये नोटिस पे हम चर्चा चाहते थे, लेकिन हर वक्त हमारे नोटिसेस रिजेक्ट होते हैं और महत्वपूर्ण जो विषय है, मुद्दे हैं, जब हम उठाते हैं तो उसको चर्चा का अवकाश नहीं मिलता.
Other parties have echoed Congress's stand, accusing the Prime Minister of shielding Adani.
अमृतकाल में ये महाघोटाला है और इस महाघोटाले पे सदन में चर्चा कराओ, सुप्रीम कोर्ट से मॉनिटर्ड इसकी पूरी जांच कराओ और जेपीसी बनाओ. इस डिमांड के साथ हम लोग पार्लियामेंट में अपनी आवाज आज भी उठाए हैं, आगे भी उठाते रहेंगे.
जिस तरीके से घोटाला हम देख रहे हैं 2014 से एक ही ग्रुप को जिस तरीके का फायदा हो रहा है, फोर्ब्स में नंबर 3 या 4 पे आ जाते हैं और अब गिरावट हो रही है, ये सिर्फ स्टॉक मैनिपुलेशन और स्टॉक की ओवर प्राइसिंग की वजह से हुआ है. इसीलिए हम चाह रहे हैं कि एक जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी का गठन हो.
We want a proper investigation into what has happened, why this happened, and from the beginning. We can't just have these responses and close the chapter.
Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee meanwhile claimed that the government was close to collapse as a result of the market crash.
কালকে তো প্রায় সরকার পড়ে যাচ্ছিল, কেন পড়ে যাচ্ছিল? শেয়ার বাজারে ধস নেমেছিল, এবার কাউকে কাউকে রিকোয়েস্ট করে আমরা জানি তারা কারা, নামগুলো বলে আর আমি তাদের দুর্বিষহ করতে চাই না।
The showdown in Parliament is only likely to escalate in the coming days as the government has refused to budge, saying that the slotted discussion on the President's address must be allowed to go on. With the opposition breathing fire on the government over the Adani controversy, how long can the government hold off on a discussion in Parliament? Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to quickly bring in our consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai. What could be the political fallout of what we are witnessing with the Adani Group? Rajdeep, what's interesting is even in Parliament, while both houses today were adjourned, even, one would think the opposition would be united in their attack on Mr. Adani. Even that's not quite cohesive there.
Yes and no, Preeti. The fact is that the opposition parties, both who are Congress allies as well as the so-called like-minded parties, were there at that meeting which was called by Mallikarjun Kharge, and they've all agreed that they need to raise the issue of what is happening in the stock markets. However, their approaches are different. You've got the Congress which wants to take the aggressive approach and say, let's have a JPC, which is never going to happen. The government has the numbers, they will not agree to a JPC. The rest of the opposition, particularly parties like Trinamool Congress, are suggesting that let's first begin a debate on this issue in Parliament during the President's motion of thanks. We can raise these issues and try and corner the government. Remember, Preeti, Gautam Adani today, through his company, has interest assets in as many as 22 states across the country. From the Trinamool Congress in Bengal to the left in Kerala, they are building a seaport there, to Congress-ruled Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. His interests are varied. Therefore, there will be those who will, who are disinclined to target him personally. They are raising the wider issue, if at all. You heard Mamta Banerjee there, raising the wider issue of the government brings in a budget and look what happens to the stock market. She's not naming Adani anywhere. She is very specifically targeting Mr. Modi. So in a way, I think what the opposition wants to do is create a perception that Mr. Adani has been protected and patronized by Mr. Modi, but the target of their ire is not Mr. Adani, the target of their ire is Mr. Modi.
That was my second question, Rajdeep. Do you think the opposition, especially we've seen Rahul Gandhi, very rarely does a press conference go where he doesn't talk about Do Udyogpati and, some other political parties also. Do you think, especially leading up to 2024, with what we are witnessing right now, the opposition could be successful in creating that perception and narrative by attaching with what we are witnessing right now as a political failure of the government?
Preeti, it's tough to say what happens over the next 16 months. There are about, 300 weeks to go before, we are in election mode. So there's, there are 300 days to go before we are in full election mode. But the opposition has certainly got an opportunity to create the perception that the likes of Rahul Gandhi have been pushing for a while, that this is a government which is guilty of what they call crony capitalism. Rahul Gandhi has been consistent. You may disagree, you may agree with him. He's been consistent in targeting this government as an Adani Ambani Sarkar. Few people have bought that argument within the rest of the opposition also. But now, because of what has happened, Rahul Gandhi, the Congress has got the opportunity to create that perception targeting the government, suggesting that they have turned a blind eye, they believe, to the monopolies that are being built, to the alleged cronyism, and indeed their claim based on the Hindenburg report that there could be some corruption and criminality involved. A lot of it is in the realm of speculation at the moment in terms of a hard evidence, but clearly the perception is being built that whatever is happening in the stock market, the government of the day was aware of some of the alleged misdoings and has not done enough. So I think from that point of view, given that it's going to build into now an election cycle, you will hear the likes of Rahul Gandhi speaking out on it. Will the rest of the opposition take the cue and speak as aggressively? I rather doubt it for the very reason I cited earlier, Preeti. Many of these political parties, state governments have deep entrenched interests with the growing geographical base of the Adani empire.
And something you outlined earlier, if the Congress is vociferous in its attack, two of its states are literally, well, when it comes down to business, in bed with Adani.
No, you saw, when Ashok Gehlot was asked a question, he stayed away from it. Bhupesh Baghel has said very little about it. Kamal Nath revived a Adani paint plant that was tagged, which for years was caught up in litigation. He revived it and cleared it just before his government fell in March 2020. So the Congress's sort of satraps may well have a very different view to Rahul Gandhi.
How much of a political meal the opposition can make of it, we'll only know in days to come. Thank you, Rajdeep, for joining us. The other big issue which could lead up to 2024 elections as an emotive poll issue is the Ram Mandir. And, well, the narrative of it already being woven. Why I say that? Take a look at these visuals. A sea of devotees on the streets to get the darshan of centuries-old holy rocks from Nepal that have been brought to the city of Ayodhya. Why so? Take a look.
The holy city of Ayodhya, soaked in colors of saffron and devotion. The devotees rejoicing, welcoming a divine rock with rock-solid faith. The city of Ram laying out the red carpet to the holy Shaligram. A mammoth 60 million-year-old rock directly from Nepal's holy Gandak river, which made a journey of faith with a sea of devotees.
जैसा कि कहा जाता है कि मध्य प्रदेश में नर्मदा नदी है और नर्मदा का हर एक कंकर साक्षात शंकर, उसी प्रकार से नेपाल की भूमि में गंडकी नदी में कोई भी पत्थर है वो साक्षात शालिग्राम भगवान का स्वरूप माना जाता है। और वहां से चल करके यह पत्थर यहाँ पर आया तो हम लोगों के लिए बड़ा सौभाग्य की बात है, यह शिला यहाँ पर आई, क्योंकि इस शिला के द्वारा राम जी का निर्माण होना है।
आज इतना जो है खुश है कि जीवन सफल हो गया हम लोगों का, भगवान राम का जो है चेहरा देख करके और उनको जो है माता जानकी जी का जो है चेहरा देख करके बिल्कुल जान लीजिए मोदी और योगी मय हो गया है।
The Shaligram is revered and worshipped as a form of Bhagwan Vishnu himself and will be used to carve out the idols of Ram and Sita for the new mandir. The Shaligram Yatra is a booster dose of faith for countless devotees waiting eagerly for the mega unveiling of the grand Ram Mandir on the next Makar Sankranti just months from now.
राम नाम की नैया लेकर सतगुरु करे पुकार, आओ मेरी नैया में ले जाऊंगा भव पार.
The giant Shaligrams were dispatched from Nepal in a long and colorful procession with thousands of devotees in attendance. The divine rocks hold special significance for the devotees who have been worshipping Shaligrams since eons.
A precious stone is considered and defined as the symbol of God Vishnu. Or since Ram is also incarnation of the Vishnu, God Vishnu, that's why it is very relevant. It is not only very, the only relevancy of this stone is that the idol of Ram Lala, Bhagavan, in Ram temple, will be made of this stone.
The construction of the splendid Ram temple in Ayodhya is underway and will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on New Year's Day 2024. With Arpita Arya, Abhishek Mishra, Shilpi Sen and Navjot Kaur in Ayodhya, Uttar Pradesh. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, Vio, so that's what happened today, but why is it politically relevant? Well, so politically relevant when you talk about Mission 2024, because important to take you through the timeline, and I'm going to pull in my colleague Polumi to explain the relevance of run-up to Mission 2024. Well, August 2020, the Prime Minister lays the foundation stone for the temple. October 2020, The carved stones shifted to the temple premises. August 2021, Yogi Adityanath reviews the construction work, offers prayers. September 2021, the first phase of the temple construction is complete. June 2022, first stone laid in temple's Garbhagriha. Then January 2023, over 60% of the temple construction work, viewers, is completed. January 2024, the idol of Ram Lalla to be installed on Makar Sankranti. So 60% of the work is completed. We've got you the timeline till 2024, which is going to be when the massive elections that we are looking at take place, general elections 2024, the big gig. I want to pull in my colleague Poulomi Saha, who's been tracking the political fallout of the Ram Mandir. Poulomi, many would say, that in 2019, the BJP already cashed the Ram Mandir ticket, but not quite so, because January 2024, the construction would be complete, and possibly right before elections, which are the general elections, the doors of the Ram Mandir could be thrown open, a highly emotive issue reaching its culmination just at the time of voting.
Absolutely. This is definitely going to be a big moment as far as the BJP's campaign for 2024 general elections are concerned. The BJP is already building up to it, already across various programs that the BJP is addressing and their top leadership are addressing. They are talking about, throwing open the doors of the Ram Temple in January 2024. Mr. Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, when he was campaigning very recently in Tripura, he spoke about it. He's been speaking about it previously as well. But of course, the relevance of it in the run-up to the Tripura Assembly elections, and of course, the big finale in 2024 clearly was driven home to the Hindu vote bank of the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is the predominant vote bank that the BJP banks on. So it is going to be extremely crucial for the BJP, given that the opposition parties have understood the game plan of the Bharatiya Janata Party. They do realize how the BJP, of course, tries to cash in on that emotive sentiment, as we're referring to ahead of elections. But the BJP, of course, knows that this is their fail-safe modus operandi. And that is exactly what they're hoping will, of course, play out in the run-up to the 2024 general elections as well, which is going to be very crucial for the Bharatiya Janata Party, for which, of course, they're leaving no stone unturned at the moment. As we speak, for instance, they're taking the budget, their top leadership is taking the budget to every inch of this country over the next 12 days. They're going to pan out, they're going to talk about it everywhere. And this is how it's going to be. JP Nadda, who's got an extension in the run-up to the 2024 elections as well as national president of the party. Again, the BJP is not making any changes because their entire focus right now is the general election. And that is exactly what the Ram Temple is going to play into in terms of the narrative that the BJP will be setting before the election. Preeti.
Poulomi, I appreciate you joining us. We're going to continue to go across to Poulomi, who's going to be breaking down the various game plans of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And believe me, every political party will come up with their own game plan to run towards 2024, viewers. And the Ram Mandir, like I said, as a matter of faith to many Hindus across the country, extremely deep, extremely emotive. But as a matter of possibly political plank, or a poll plank running up to 2024? Has the BJP exhausted it, or is there enough steam? Well, right now it seems that the narrative is only building to the big opening of the Ram Mandir. What was in their manifesto, they would have delivered, and that is what they are going to go to the people with. With that, let me take you to the other developing political story. The fiery liquor dangal showdown has exploded with a sensational new twist. India Today has accessed the ED charge sheet in the Delhi liquor excise probe. The ED claims Kejriwal spoke to accused Sameer Mahindra on FaceTime, a call that was arranged by Aam Aadmi Party communications in charge Vijay Nair. Kejriwal vouched for Nair to Sameer on the video and said Vijay Nair is my boy and he can be trusted. ED in the charge sheet says that accused Mahindra said that control of 65% of stakes in his Indo Spirits business was with K. Kavita and Andhra MP MSR, also known as Mangunta Shri Vasulu Reddy. The ED alleges, apart from the video call, the CM had also met Reddy, who wanted to do liquor business in Delhi. More charges levelled by the ED, which claim money generated from the Delhi liquor scam was used in Goa elections by the Aam Aadmi Party. Cash payments worth 70 lakhs were made to volunteers. Vijay Nair, on behalf of leaders of AAP, had received kickbacks to the tune of 100 crores, is what is being alleged by the ED. In midst of all of this, the Delhi Chief Minister has come out, rubbished all the claims, called it nothing but propaganda.
ईडी की कितनी चार्जशीट, अभी तक 5000 चार्जशीट फाइल की होंगी ईडी ने अपने पूरे इस सरकार के कार्यकाल में, उसमें से कितने लोगों को सजा हुई? ईडी की सारे केस फर्जी हैं। ईडी के केस केवल सरकारें गिराने और सरकारें बनाने के लिए इस्तेमाल किए जाते हैं। ईडी के केसेस, ईडी जो है भ्रष्टाचार खत्म करने के लिए थोड़ी केस करती है। ईडी तो केवल एमएलए, इन लोगों की सरकारों को एमएलए खरीदने के लिए, एमएलए तोड़ने के लिए, सरकारें बनाने के लिए, सरकारें गिराने के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। तो ईडी की चार्जशीट एक कोरा फिक्शन है।
All right, with that, I'm going to go into a quick break. Stay with us. On the other side is our fact check segment.
I propose to increase the rebate limit to 7 lakhs.
Yet again, the nation trusts India Today TV. Highest concurrent users during the Budget 2023 speech. Most watched news channel on YouTube live. India Today #1.
A university founded by the world's first non-European Nobel laureate. More than 100 years later, Vishwa Bharati at Rabindranath Tagore's Shanti Niketan locked in a land dispute with another Nobel Prize winner, Professor Amartya Sen. The university has accused the 90-year-old of occupying a portion of campus land in excess of his entitlement. Professor Sen has disputed the claim and accused the central institution of harassment. Earlier this week, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee stepped in. She stood beside the elderly economist, a vocal critic of the Modi government and the BJP. The CM produced land records she insisted supported Professor Sen's complete entitlement of the land under his possession. The Chief Minister also alleged saffronization attempts on Vishwa Bharati's campus. The West Bengal Chief Minister sought Prime Minister Narendra Modi's intervention, saying she would write a formal letter to him in this regard. The university has responded. Vishwa Bharati has instead accused the state Chief Minister of listening to sycophants. A new political war in West Bengal with an academic institution and icons at its center. Bureau Report, India Today.
It's a new fad in India. Chai shops listing the owner's educational qualifications. Meet engineer chaiwala from Uttarakhand's Haldwani. Pankaj Pandey, a 28-year-old diploma holder in mechanical engineering, is a hit in the town.
मैंने मैकेनिकल से पॉलिटेक्निक किया हुआ है गवर्नमेंट पॉलिटेक्निक गरूर से, तो उसके साथ साथ मैं अपनी जेई के लिए तैयारी भी करता रहता हूँ, जूनियर इंजीनियर के एग्जाम्स के लिए। और जो मेरा मेन जो विजन है वो इसी को आगे लेके जाना है, इंजीनियर चाय वाले को।
Pandey used to work at a call center in Noida earlier. While he is proud to run a tea shop, he is also attempting to clear entrance exams for further education.
अपकमिंग जो भी जेई के एग्जाम्स होंगे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के मैकेनिकल के लिए, उनकी तैयारी कर रहा हूँ। और लेकिन मैकेनिकल की तो वैसे वैकेंसी निकलना बहुत कम हो चुका है, कई सारे डिपार्टमेंट तो बहुत बिल्कुल ख़त्म ही कर दी है वैकेंसी, लेकिन फिर भी एक उम्मीद है।
Pandey's chai is popular among locals and tourists alike.
कुछ ना कुछ तो करना ही है। अच्छा कर रखा है उनने, यहाँ पे चाय की दुकान खोल दी है और बहुत बढ़िया चाय अच्छी लग रही है, टेस्ट बहुत है।
बेरोजगारी बहुत है सर आजकल, इसलिए भैया ने अपना खोल लगा छोटा मोटा काम, क्योंकि बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है यहाँ पर इनका। रेगुलर लगाते हैं सर, सुबह 4 से 9 बजे तक लगाते हैं।
Pankaj Pandey opens his tea stall every evening for 2 hours. Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You're watching a fact-check segment where we bust claims that masquerade to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. Busting fake news here, a claim suggesting this is a video of Peshawar Mosque blast. The fact-check on that old video of the Lahore blast in 2021. With that fact-check, a quick break. Stay with me. To the point on the other side.
The big ticket union budget for 2023 comes with a slew of benefits for the Aam Aadmi.
Persons in the new tax regime with income up to 7 lakhs will not have to pay any tax at all.
In what can be regarded as a tax bonanza for the salaried and the middle class, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman raised the cap on income tax exemption and cut tax rates under the new tax regime. The biggest relief, there will be no income tax for up to 7 lakh rupees in the new tax regime, up from the previous threshold of 5 lakh rupees.
Currently, those with income up to 5 lakh do not pay any tax, do not pay any income tax in both old and new regimes. I propose to increase the rebate limit to 7 lakhs in the...
If your income is more than 7 lakh rupees and you opt for the new tax regime, then these slabs will apply. No tax up to 3 lakh rupees, that is 2,500 rupees in your pocket compared with earlier rates in the new regime. From 3 to 6 lakh rupees, the rates are 5%, you can benefit up to 7,500 rupees. 6 to 9 lakh rupees, you will be taxed at 10%, a saving of 15,000 rupees when compared with earlier. In the 9 to 12 lakh rupee category, at a rate of 15%, you will save 25,000 rupees. From 12 to 15 lakh, the rate is 20% and the benefit 37,500 rupees. Above 15 lakh rupees, you will be taxed at 30%.
I propose to change the tax structure in this regime by reducing the number of slabs to 5 and increasing the tax exemption limit to 3 lakhs. The new tax rates are 0 to 3 lakh, nil. 3 to 6 lakhs, 5%. 6 to 9 lakhs, 10%. 9 to 12 lakh, 15%. 12 to 15 lakhs, 20%. And above 15 lakhs, 30%. Citizens.
The centre also cut the maximum income tax rate to 39% and reduced the highest surcharge to 25% from the earlier 37%. For income above 15.5 lakh rupees, standard deduction is introduced, which will benefit you by 52,500 rupees.
And despite
but there's a catch. The benefits will only apply under the new tax regime and not the old.
We are also making the new income tax regime as the default tax regime. However, citizens will continue to have the option to avail the benefit of the old tax regime.
The centre is also making the new tax regime the default option for this fiscal year. The Finance Minister, however, has clarified no taxpayer will be forced to adhere to the new tax regime. They can choose the old regime that gives exemptions on saving schemes, house rent, etc. if they choose. Bureau Report, India Today.
began as a battle over illegal occupation of land between the Vishwa Bharati University versus Nobel laureate Amartya Sen. It turned out into a massive, all-out political war between West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee versus the Vishwa Bharati University, with the university issuing a statement against the Chief Minister. The Vishwa Bharati is a central university. We are better off without your blessings because we are used to the Margdarshan of the Prime Minister. We would like to request the Chief Minister to stop seeing through her ears and use her brains. Mamata Banerjee earlier had hit out at the university for accusing Nobel laureate Amartya Sen of illegal occupation of land, stating that the university was forcing students to indulge in saffronization. Didi versus Central University. Top focus on To The Point this evening. Viewers, I'm going to elucidate the story in just a short while, but let's cut across directly to Mr. Bidyut Chakravarti. He's the Vice Chancellor of the Vishwa Bharat University. He's joining us live right now. Mr. Chakravarti, I want to ask you a question, sir. Understandably, there are differences between your university and the Chief Minister. But to use language that we are better off without your blessings because we have the Margdarshan of the Prime Minister, and importantly to say something like, we would like to request the Chief Minister to stop seeing through her ears and use her brain. So this is rather unparliamentary, or, you know, especially coming from a university with the stature of the Vishwa Bharati University.
No, madam, first of all, when I mentioned that we'll go by the Margdarshan of Prime Minister, let me clarify. You know that the Prime Minister happens to be the Chancellor of this university, so we are guided, by his ideas, by his advice. And secondly, it has been going on for years together. Since I joined in 2018, the government of West Bengal, under the leadership of the present Honorable Chief Minister, they are indulged in all kinds of activities to harass me by blaming me as representative of the central government. I just would like to put this question before you, that is, since, Central University Vice Chancellor is appointed by the central government, which is now being run by BJP and its alliance. So I think, they appointed me. That doesn't mean that I'll endorse whatever the government says. I'll endorse the political line which the BJP takes. But if you blame somebody who is trying to put Vishwa Bharati on the global map, then I think this is a little unfortunate. My reaction probably was a little harsh, as I said, probably I wouldn't say unparliamentary, because if you listen to Mamata Banerjee's attack on me, that's really worse than being unparliamentary. So if somebody hits me below the map,
I understand what you're saying, but as a chancellor of a university, sir, I would reckon when you say that you might be a political appointee, but your ideology is not political. For somebody who says that, then to make a highly political statement by saying we don't need your blessings and use your brain and not your ears. Maybe it's not unparliamentary in terms of abusive, but it is uncouth and it's a political statement.
No, madam, I just would like to request you, what do you mean by political?
Sir, when you say, if there is a chief minister and you turn around and you say that we don't need your blessings, we have the blessings of the Prime Minister and that is enough, when you go ahead and add to it that the chief minister needs to use her brain.
Madam, I respect your definition of being political, but my understanding of political is little different. Here is the chief minister who is hitting a vice chancellor who is equally respectable below the belt. Then I think I simply reacted. Probably it may sound political to you, but for me it's just
I'll tell you why. Okay, I understand what you're saying, sir, but I'll tell you why it's political.
Madam, please let me finish.
Of course.
Let me finish and then I'll listen to you. If you say it is political, then probably you ask me to be quiet, to be silent, even if somebody hits you below the belt, simply because you are the Vice Chancellor and the CM. The CM is authorized to say whatever she feels like because she is CM. I mean, I think it is also unbecoming of a chief minister of a state like West Bengal to hit the vice chancellor of a university below the belt simply because this vice chancellor has carved an independent path, in which chief minister's statement, chief minister's advice, chief minister's recommendation are not respected. If that is the reason, then madam, please, allow me to remain political. Thank you.
No, Mr. Chakrabarti, the fact is, you've made this long speech, but when you say that it's not political, I'll tell you why it's political. Because you say it's from the Vice Chancellor. This statement is not from the Vice Chancellor, sir. The statement has come from the Vishwa Bharati University, which was formed by Tagore. It's a statement given by the spokesperson of the Vishwa Bharati University. It hasn't come from you in individual capacity. That is why it's political. And away from that, I just want to now move on to what the core of the issue is. What is it when you keep saying that the chief minister hit below the belt? What is it that the chief minister said which prompted a university to give out a public statement which has asked the chief minister to use her brain instead and you don't want her blessings?
Madam, I wish you knew Bengali. Chief minister didn't speak in English or Hindi. And there she made several statements to question my qualification, to label me as the dalal of RSS, to accuse me of being deviant from the university tradition. These are all statements which make no sense, and these are all statements which are made by somebody who is a chief minister of a state, and to me, this is all unbecoming of a chief minister. Now,
fair enough, sir. You have your grievances against the chief minister, and they could very well be correct in what you feel. But like I said, sir, the statement should have been in personal capacity and not in the capacity of the university, because then it gets political completely. But I'll ask you another question, sir.
Madam, I am Vidyut Chakrabarti. If she accused Vidyut Chakrabarti of being, victim or of being
responsible, she accused the vice chancellor. So, madam, if a statement is made, it should come. Sir, hear me out.
If you interrupt,
sir, hear me. I'm not interrupting you, sir. I'm allowing you to speak freely. But I'm just trying. She didn't.
Making a point.
Sir, so am I. Sir, let me finish my point and you make your point. Sir, she accused the vice chancellor. The vice chancellor could have spoken in personal capacity. The statement has come from the university. She didn't say anything against the university or the students. The students make the university.
Madam, first of all, if she accuses Vidyut Chakrabarti of being responsible for all these misdeeds, quote unquote, then I would not have reacted. But when she mentions the Vice Chancellor of Vishwa Bharati, I think as Vice Chancellor of Vishwa Bharati, I have a moral responsibility, moral commitment, moral desire, to say things, to do things in the interest of the university.
But sir, you spoke. The point is,
saying,
I understand where you come from, and I'll come.
Madam,
but you spoke for the university.
Madam, just a minute, madam. Will you please listen to me?
Please,
if you
sir.
interrupt in between, then there is no point, talking to you really. I mean, you are not allowing me to complete my sentence. Please,
sir, you've completed many sentences, but please complete your sentence. Go ahead.
Yes, madam, that's why I'm saying that, when she accuses the vice chancellor of a university of the stature of Vishwa Bharati, I think, as vice chancellor, I have a moral commitment to protect Vishwa Bharati's reputation, Vishwa Bharati's glory. And that's why I said all these things, because, I'm now pushed to the wall, and she has been troubling us since I joined Vishwa Bharati in 2018.
True.
Simply because I am nominated by a government controlled by a party.
So fair enough. But I would think, sir, you are the vice chancellor. Sir, I would think the students of Vishwa Bharati would also feel that you are the vice chancellor of the university, but you are not Vishwa Bharati, and Vishwa Bharati is not you. So a statement coming from Vishwa Bharati represents the students as well. Is this the purview and the point of view of the students? That remains to be seen, is all I'm trying to say. This could have come in as a statement from the vice chancellor, not from the university. But I will ask you what the moot point is. Ultimately, it goes down to whatever the rancor Vishwa Bharati as a university has with Nobel laureate Amartya Sen. What is the issue there in terms of the Vishwa Bharati is accusing him of squatting on illegal land? Now, the government says that there are bona fide papers that Mr. Amartya Sen's maternal grandfather, who actually formed or partly formed the university with Mr. Tagore, has legal right to the land he sits on.
Madam, first of all, I don't know when you talk about the students, how many students you have got in mind. You know, Vishwa Bharati is located in an island infested by enemies, political enemies of the university, simply because this university is central university and governed and controlled by the Minister of Education, Union government. That's one. And secondly, the core issue which you have referred to is about land which is illegally occupied by Professor Amartya Sen. Now, the land in question was transferred to Professor Amartya Sen in 2006, and the Honorable Chief Minister has shown the papers which belong to 1943. Now, in 1943, the land in question was transferred to his father. And you know, in Vishwa Bharati, the land belongs to the university. You cannot buy land from Vishwa Bharati. It is normally leased to the lessee. Now, the rule is that once the lessee dies or once the lessee passes away, the land is transferred to the heir, provided Vishwa Bharati agrees. Now, in this case, Amartya Sen approached Vishwa Bharati to transfer the land which was given to his father in 1943 in his name. And the mutation took place in 2006. And as per the mutation, he was given 1.25 decimal. And you know, per bigha, you have to pay 5,000 rupees as tax to the state government. And if you multiply 5,000 with 1.25 decimal, you'll get the figure of 18,940 rupees. So that time when the land mutation took place, he knew that he gave tax for 1.25 decimal land, but he claims 1.38. Now, my request to you, to request to the Chief Minister and also those who are close to the Chief Minister, those who are involved in RAM record, kindly present before us the document of land transfer from Vishwa Bharati to Professor Sen after 2006, because 1943 lease document makes no sense. Once you die, the land automatically comes back to the owner. That is Vishwa Bharati.
So you're saying Vishwa, the university is not in favor of it being shifted to the heir. It's a legal battle, and you've asked the government to show you the records. We're going to try and get in what the government's point of view as well is on this. Appreciate you joining us, sir. Thank you. I want to quickly cut across to our political guest this evening, Priyanka Tibrewal, spokesperson, Bengal BJP, Professor Monojit Mondal, spokesperson, TMC. Priyanka Tibrewal, you know, the fact is, why is the BJP coming into all of this? Ultimately, it's a battle between a vice chancellor and the chief minister. Why is BJP making its own battle?
See, it is the CM of West Bengal who cannot see anything from BJP. And it is actually very, very sad that each and everything, whether it is a college, whether it is a university, she brings into politics. She brings politics into it. And that is the reason that she's trying to, all the statements given by her are political, which is not required in a university. She is saying that the university is being saffronized. Now tell me, when there is a legal dispute, why should a CM get into this? And for that matter, I would say that there are so many legal disputes or land acquisition disputes. How many disputes does the CM get involved into? So why this particular one? Because you see, there are certain magical words which were spoken by Mr. Amartya Sen and which has won the heart of the CM. She loves to hear this, that which was spoken by Mr. Sen, that she could be the Prime Minister candidate. That is why she is going her way all out to do things to oblige Mr. Sen. Otherwise, you see a CM offering Z security immediately after those magical words were heard by her. And now to this extent that when there is a legal issue involved, she's trying to jump into that. Let the court of law decide. Why is she jumping into it?
Okay, but
BJP is not jumping into
Priyanka
it.
Tibrewal, the university in question, and I'll bring in Manojit Mondal, the Vice Chancellor just said it, has approached the West Bengal government to furbish documents to prove that
Yes.
Amartya Sen has right on that land or not. But it's come from the university, not the other way around. But having said that, Manojit Mondal, you know, what is the point of the Chief Minister now? The government can furbish documents, but also to make political statements. Yes, it's coming in from the Vice Chancellor, but the Chief Minister is also giving it back in good measure. You know, actually accusing the Vice Chancellor of being the vehicle of trying to saffronize the campus.
Is this the political statement that the Chief Minister has made? The Vice Chancellor categorically stated that some of our ministers, the very favorite brother of the Chief Minister, look at the statement of the Vice Chancellor. Is it coming from a Vice Chancellor or is it coming from a political leader? By the way, he was saying something that is absolutely untrue. No education minister of government of West Bengal is in jail. Why is he saying all these things? And if somebody is in jail, does it mean that that person is guilty? He has called on another show that these people are thieves. He called Mr. Amartya Sen as a land grabber, is a shark. I'm not going to call him a sexual molester because here there are charges of sexual molestation against him in Delhi University. There was a case in High Court. I would not say this because that was not proven in the court of law. He was barred from holding any kind of post in the Delhi University for 3 years. Does it mean that he was guilty? When he says that some political leaders, yes, one political leader belongs to TMC who comes from Birbhum, he says that because he's in jail, he's a thief, he's a land grabber, Amartya Sen is a land grabber. I can accuse him with the same language by saying that he was a molester. I won't say that. I am not going to accuse him for writing trash on a book written by him, published in 2021 about first partition of Bengal. It's completely wrong information about the revocation of partition of Bengal. He written twice. Am I going to say that he's a trash? What are you talking about?
You're saying it. You are saying it by saying you're not going to say it.
No, I'm not saying, because let me tell you, Preeti, I'm a proud alumnus of this university. I come from that university. I'm teaching in a university which is one of the best in the world. But I'm not really forgetting my own university, that is Vishwabharati. So I have got special emotive place for that particular institution. And I see that the people are getting suspended for without any rhyme and reason. I'm naming the former Vice Chancellor. She was suspended for without any rhyme and reason. The case went to the High Court. She won. One very, prominent Rabindra Sangeet exponent, Shastika Mukhopadhyay, she was suspended before her death. She died 6 months back.
Priyanka Tibrewal, there's a witch hunt which is being carried on, is what the TMC suggests. But I'll ask you a question. Okay, no, Priyanka Tibrewal.
One more example.
Preeti.
All the reputed teachers.
One second.
I heard Mr.
Priyanka Tibrewal, the question, I'll tell you what the question is. Mr. Tibrewal, the question is very clear. And that is, should a Vice Chancellor actually issue a public statement which represents the university and students and basically telling the Chief Minister off, saying we don't need your blessings, use your brain? This kind of language coming in from the university, it's not just the Vice Chancellor's statement. Is it correct or not, ma'am?
See, this is a reply to the statement made by the Chief Minister. Now the same question is applicable to the Chief Minister herself. A Chief Minister of a state, it is her duty, to preserve the dignity of her chair. Now, why did she go her way all out to do things like this, where she is being answered by the Vice Chancellor? Now, I would also state this, that just now Mr. Mondal was saying that nobody is in the jail. Whatever he was saying was lying. Sir, you are Vice Chancellor of North Bengal University, Subhrish Bhattacharya. He is behind bars. Now, so that is why I'm saying that when you point a finger at someone, he will give you back a...
All right, Manojit Mondal, 30 seconds of a rebuttal and then I'm going to close the show. Manojit Mondal. Manojit Mondal, can you hear me? All right, we seem to have lost Manojit Mondal.
See this entire...
Okay, I'm afraid, Priyanka Tibrewal, I'm afraid, we've run out of time as well, but I would reckon the debate will continue in days to come. I would reckon what the students of Vishwabharati actually feel in all of this, a massive slugfest between the Chief Minister and the Vice Chancellor, who keeps reiterating that Vishwabharati is a central university. Make what you want to make of that. A quick break, stay with us. On the other side is Rahul Kamal.
economy has become a lot more formalized.
The big news of the day, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's speech for Budget 2023, at least that was how it was meant to be. Until Gautam Adani-controlled companies took the limelight away. This was the share price of Adani Enterprises at close of trade, down 838 rupees or a whopping 28.2%. That's not all. In its unobstructed slide, the stock hit the lower circuit 5 times today. At 5%, 10%, 15%, 20% and then 25%, shattering them all to shed 35% of its value before recovering in late trade. The real rout began after 1 p.m. with a report that Credit Suisse had stopped accepting bonds of Adani Group as collateral for margin loans to its private banking clients. This was a clear sign of deeper scrutiny into Gautam Adani's finances after allegations of fraud by short seller Hindenburg Research. The report also said that Swiss Lender's private banking arm has assigned a zero lending value for notes sold by Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone and Adani Green Energy. This means that its clients will have to come up with other forms of collateral or have their securities liquidated. For Gautam Adani, who earlier this week received the keys to the strategic Haifa port in Israel, which he won in a global tender, the day's agony did not end there. Adani Ports ended up falling more than 19%. Ambuja Cements was down nearly 17%, while Wilmar Power, Total Gas and NDTV hit the lower circuit. Also taking the fall for the Adani Group were financial institutions who have lent to the conglomerate. LIC fell more than 8%. ICICI Prudential and HDFC Life both were down more than 10%. SBI Life lost nearly a tenth of its value, while SBI was down 5%. Meanwhile, of the 8 lakh crore rupees wiped out this year, a large portion is of Gautam Adani, who has slipped below Mukesh Ambani in a real-time billionaires list. Bureau Report, Business Today TV.
यकीन मानिए, पहला सप्तर्षि में पहला इंक्लूसिव डेवलपमेंट। कोई एक धारा दिखा दीजिए कि इंक्लूसिव मॉडल हो। बेरोजगारों की संख्या कितनी है? कई करोड़ में है। और आपके पास क्या मॉडल है? रोजगार के लिए तो आपने गोल गोल बातें की हैं। कोई भी ठोस ब्लूप्रिंट नहीं है। तो फिर ये आम बजट कैसे हुआ साहब? ये तो खास लोगों का, खास लोगों द्वारा खास तरह से बनाया गया बजट है।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Come winter starts the problem of stuffy, dry nose, cold, cough and body aches. And to keep our immunity up to the mark, it's important to eat the right kind of food. With season change, our food habits also change. It is absolutely imperative to eat right, and what we eat in summers is actually very different from what we eat in winters. You walk into any vegetable market this winter season and the range of vegetables that you can choose from is simply incredible. From different types of saag to methi, palak, cabbage, red cabbage, beetroot. Many of these vegetables are in fact best in their form during the winter season and have a host of benefits.
Lots of green leafy vegetables helps us in fighting against lot of diseases like heart disease, cancer, and also helps in the reduction of weight. It also helps in the keeping our gut healthy.
Next on our list is Desi Jaggery or Gur. Jaggery is an unrefined natural sugar that is produced without adding any chemicals. Here's a fun fact. More than 70% of the total world jaggery production is done in India. Jaggery is considered a superfood as it contains more vitamins and minerals and has low sucrose content than compared to white sugar. Here is an important use of jaggery during winter polluted months.
Jaggery helps in clearing the mucus from the lungs and respiratory tract, which helps ease breathing difficulties. Jaggery has anti-allergic properties, detox and relax the muscles, respiratory muscles.
Another food that we all should be turning to is what is being pushed by India is an alternate crop, the humble millet.
भारत विश्व में मिलेट्स का सबसे बड़ा उत्पादक देश है, इसलिए इस पहल को सफल बनाने की बड़ी जिम्मेदारी भी हम भारतवासियों के कंधे पर ही है। हम सबको मिलकर इसे जन आंदोलन बनाना है और देश के लोगों में मिलेट्स के प्रति जागरूकता भी बढ़ानी है।
There are 9 types of millets in the country, of which bajra and ragi are particularly good for immunity. Both have high fiber content and protein. But how does millet keep us warm?
It helps in increasing the blood circulation and raising the body temperature. So in winters, to keep ourselves warm, we should have bajra.
Dates is next on our list. These are available all year round but are good in winters as they nourish and hydrate the skin. Dates contain fiber, calcium and iron. During the winter season, we have to ensure enough intake of vitamin C to ensure colds and flu is kept at bay. And for this, the best source in this vegetable market is this, the amla. Now, because of the taste, it might be difficult to consume amla in its raw form. However, overwashing it or overcooking amla is simply not advisable. Last on our list, ghee or clarified butter. About 1 teaspoon of ghee daily helps stay warm in the winters, but it is important to consume ghee in moderation and not overeat it. With Sonali Acharji in Delhi, Sneha Murdani for India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
FPO scrapped, stocks spiral. Regulators to probe Adani companies. Adani assures investors.
Our board strongly felt that it would not have been morally correct to proceed with the FPO.
But will it be enough?
lies ahead for Adani? Big focus on News Track.
Tonight at 9 p.m. on the news today with me, Rajdeep Sardesai. The complete free fall in Adani stocks now echoes in Parliament. The opposition claims it's a scam. The Congress wants a joint parliamentary committee, even as the government refuses to break its silence on the issue. Should the market regulator SEBI now